In this video, we'll be hunting a box of nickels. We'll be looking for anything older than 1960, including war nickels, buffaloes, or anything older. We'll also be looking for any foreigns, proofs, heirs, or varieties, or any other cool things we can find. We do have two enders in this box. One right here, it is a 1940, and then right here we have a 1958, so hopefully that's a good sign. And let's start the hunt, and I'll bring you in when we have our first find. First roll, and we have the first find of the box, and it is a pretty beat up 1956 from Denver. Next roll, and now we have our first find of the 40s, and it is a 1949 minted in Denver. Roll 4 was that 1940 ender. Got out of the roll. It's pretty worn, has the ring of death, but it is minted in San Francisco. Roll 6, and we have another find from the 50s, and this one is a 1957 from Philly. Roll 8, and we have a couple more finds. First is a really nice 1958 out of Denver, even has a little detail on the steps, and we also have a 1959 that's also from Denver. Roll 10, and it caught me by surprise. I already pulled out this 1941 out of Philly, but I saw this corroded one on the edge. I was like, just a corroded nickel. There's a mint mark above the Monticello, a P mint mark. This is a 35% silver war nickel. Looks like it has good detail under the heavy corrosion. It looks like it came out of saltwater, acid, or something. It's crazy. Never seen a war nickel that looks like this before. And it's a 1943 P. That is in really messed up condition. Never seen a war nickel like that before. But still, it's a 35% silver find. That's awesome. Roll 11, and we have another nickel from 1940. This one is from Philly. Next roll, and we have a couple more finds that were actually right next to each other in the roll. First is a 1947 from Philly and a 1957 from Denver. Just opened roll 15, and I'm not sure yet, but that edge 3 coins in could be the second silver of the box. And it is. It has a Denver mint mark, and it is a 1945. It's definitely worn, but at least it's not corroded like the first one. 2 silvers already in 15 rolls. That's a great sign for the rest of the box. Roll 17 was that 1958 ender. There was nothing in the roll, and the 1958 was from Denver. Just opened roll 19, and I see something I haven't gotten in quite a few boxes. And that's a buffalo nickel. We'll see the date first. And it's a 1937. Pretty good shape. It is one of the last years they made it. And it is a Denver 1937D. Usually they're from Philly. This one's from Denver. It's not a key date or anything. It's still a common date, but still haven't found one in a few boxes. Buffalo nickel. Awesome find. Next roll, and we have another nickel from the 40s. And this one is a 1947 from Philly. Roll 24, and we have another nickel from the 50s, and it is another 1958 Denver. Roll 26, and we have another 1959 from Denver. Just opened roll 29, and 10 rolls ago we got the first buffalo, and in this roll we have buffalo number 2. Not sure if I've ever gotten 2 buffaloes in a box before, but we just did it, maybe for the first time. And it has a Denver mint mark like the other one. Let's see if it has a date. And it does. It's 1 year before the first one. First one was a 3070, and this one is a 3060. Both common years in the 30s, but still 2 buffaloes in a box along with 2 silvers. This is a great box. Same roll as that second buffalo, and we have another find. It was actually a reverse facing ender. It's a little beat up, but it is a 1940 from Philly. Next roll, and I just found a semi-key date. It's in pretty good shape too, besides this black gunk on the front, but it is 1949 from San Francisco. It has a little bit of detail on the steps, a little circulated, and it has that gunk on the front, but still, pretty nice semi-key date. That's good find. Roll 31, and we have another nickel from the 50s, and it is a 1956 Denver. Roll 45, and it's been a little bit since our last find, but just opened the roll, and we have the first foreign of the box, and it is a 1983 Canadian nickel. Roll 47, and we have another 50s find, and this one is a 1956 from Philly. Roll 49, and we have another find from the 40s. And this one is a 1947 from Denver. Last roll had one last find, and it was 1946, minted in Philly. Now let's go on to the wrap-up. Nickel boxes have been hunted, so let's go over the finds. We ended up with only 8 S-mints, 1 foreign, that Canadian from the end in 1983, no 2009s, no proofs or anything like that. Older Jeffersons, they were a little light in this box, but we got a couple good ones, like this really nice 58D and that semi-key date, 1949S. And we ended up with 2 silvers, 1 really weirdly corroded 1943P, and a 1945D. And then we got 2 buffaloes as well, a 1936 and 1937, both from Denver. 2 silvers and 2 buffaloes in the same box. This was an awesome box.